This is an 18-speed transmission. It's one of the most common manual transmissions out there. A lot of guys are worried by that number 18, the 18 speeds. They wonder how in God's green earth they're ever going to learn to shift it with all those gears. And the number of gears stresses them out and gets them excited. Let me show you the easiest way to shift this 18 speed, and it'll work for you unless you're pulling serious heavy weight. But if you're just learning with the 18 speed, it's very doubtful they'll have you on big heavy loads. You'll probably be hauling dry freight when you're learning. So let me show you the easiest way to shift this transmission. It's basically an H pattern. Now this is hard over to the left and down. You usually don't even need to use that. And if you went straight up from that, that's reverse. But here it is with the pressure off the shifter, and it's just an H pattern. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you pull up the range knob, which is the black knob on the front of the shifter. Flip it up, and then start over again. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you're 1 gear away at this point from the top hole. Then this gray button on the side, or it's going to be red on a 13 speed, is the splitter. Then I just shift that button up, and then I'm in the very top gear. And that's the only time I use that button. I don't bother to split gears with the kind of weight that I pull and with the amount of torque this engine has. So you'll virtually never need to use the splitter unless you're pulling serious weight. Once you get comfortable with this transmission, well then of course you can play with it and split it down back and forth. And then as I'm coming out, if I was going to downshift, I'd put the splitter back into position and then just leave it back and then just go through my downshifting. Get to here, drop the plunger, and start over again. So it's just an H pattern. Now once you get used to the transmission and the truck and the trailer that you're pulling, certainly you can experiment with it and play with it. It's got all sorts of gears. Chances are you'll never even need to use half of them. But it's a really nice versatile transmission for those few times when you do want to have them. Like you're lifting it off a mountain after spinning out or something, you'd want the bottom low hole just to get it easing, because you don't want to spin the wheels, wipe your feet. You just want to come out of the hole really slow. So there's low gear for that, and there are all sorts of options. Play with it as you get more experience, but for right now, if you're learning, just remember it's a simple H pattern. You pull up the plunger, you repeat the H pattern, and then when you're in the second top hole, split it forward into the top hole, and you're good to go. You're in the top gear. Pull the plunger up, do the H pattern again. Second top hole, split the button forward, split the splitter up, now we're in the top hole. So I'll walk you through the coordination with the shifting with the stick and the clutch pedal, just so you get an idea of when I'm doing what with my foot here. And you can watch the stick at the same time. So I'm gonna get rolling here. I'm gonna let it out of gear as soon as the traffic clears. So I'm easing out the clutch. Clutch is all the way out. Pushing it halfway in, letting it up, pushing it halfway in, and again. So I'm going 1 up, 2 up. In up, in up. In up, in up. In up, in up. I'm I'm only pushing that pedal down halfway or less, so that's why it doesn't seem like it's a big motion. That's all it needs. Clutch, clutch. That's all there is to it. When you're clutching, if you push the clutch all the way to the floor, that's engaging the clutch brake. You only need to do that when you're coming out of a stop situation, because you're slowing the clutch down to the point it'll let the transmission get back into gear. So that's the only time you depress it right to the floor. Other than that, when you're shifting, you only have to put the clutch halfway down roughly every time you shift. And that'll engage the clutch without engaging the clutch brake. And that's what you want. The clutch releases and it allows enough pressure to come off that you can shift the transmission from gear to gear, yet it doesn't engage the clutch brake. Start downshifting now, and I don't have serious weight on at all, so I'm not going to go through every gear to shift it down. So I've put it back into direct now. I've used this little splitter button and I've pulled it back, and now it's just a matter of walking through a few of the gears on the way down. Remember, it's the H pattern again. Good shifting is just like learning to ride a bike. The more practice you get at it, the better you'll get at it. Don't get rattled, just relax, take it easy, feel the gears through the shifter, use the clutch to make it easier on yourself and the transmission, and you'll get the hang of it. Take care, and we'll see you on the back roll.